Hello and welcome to the debrief. It's Dave O'Neill here on my way to Wonthaggi with Billy Stiles. Hello, Billy.
Hello.
And the legend that is Tom Siegert.
That's why I'm in the back.
That's why he's in the back, the Suburban footballer. And, okay, you can have legend. Well, no, you're an up-and-comer, Billy. Rookie, how long have you been going Siegert? You'd be over 10 years, wouldn't you, Tom?
Oh, I think I'm about nearly 18 or something.
18 years?
I think.
Wow.
I've never really... I don't know. I don't know when I started.
No, well, you'd start around the same time as Thorno. And
Yeah. So what?
That'd be about 18, yeah,
about 18,
probably.
yeah, but it was a slow start. You don't do many gigs at the start. I think I was doing one a month for probably the first couple of years.
Yeah, right. But now you do a lot, though.
Yeah, doing heaps and doing one tonight. It's
Wonthaggi.
Wonthaggi. But it is
there's a weather event.
There's some horrific weather way.
We're going down in my wife said don't go. She said you're gonna be trapped in Wonthaggi. But there's not that bad weather down in Wonthaggi, I don't think.
No, but weather can move. That's the thing about weather.
Well,
so it could
right.
it could find its way down there.
Yeah. I think we'll be right. We're doing the Caledonian Hotel. Are you emceeing, Tom?
Yeah, I assume I'm MC.
Billy,
and,
you'll be supporting. I'll be headlining.
Yeah, just two brackets.
Bang.
In and out. Good country feed beforehand. And
we're hoping for a country feed.
No, it should be good. They haven't sold... Well, they've sold a few tickets.
Mate, they'd sold over 60.
Yeah.
So that's a win.
It's a win.
It's a win.
Not for the owner of the pub, it's not. But for us, it is.
Well,
it's enough for us.
He kept cancelling. He kept saying, Kitty Flanagan's on that week in the theatre. I'm like, well, that's on the weekend. That's not going to make a big difference.
No.
That's on the weekend. There's Kitty Flanagan. And it's in the theatre.
Yeah.
So, anyway.
So, is that this weekend or that's why they
was
moved?
on. Yeah, she moved. She was on about a month ago, I reckon.
Kitty.
So, it's, for people who don't know, Wonthaggi is past Phillip Island. We used to go there a lot as kids because my parents got a beach house at Cape Patterson, which is the nearest beach to Wonthaggi, basically.
Oh, nice.
It's beautiful.
You got a beach house, Tom?
You got a beach house, Tom?
No beach house.
Not yet.
No,
As a kid coming from... What town were you from?
I grew up in early days Yakandanda and moved to Wodonga when I was in grade 5. So I grew up a Wodonga boy, Albury Wodonga. Yeah, where the mountains meet them.
That's a very good question. Where'd you go on holidays from Wodonga, Tom?
Well, families was from South Australia, so every second year we'd drive over to Port Lincoln, which was
I was in Port Lincoln the other day. It's beautiful there.
Dean Lucan from?
Dean Lucan?
Yes.
Yeah, that's my superpower. I know where people are from.
Oh, wow.
Wow. Can we hit you with someone right now?
Have a crack.
Kieran Perkins.
Fuck. Brisbane?
He's Queensland. Yeah, he's Queensland. All right, hang on. Michael Klim.
He's down from down near Mentone way, Michael Klim, because I rang him one night when he was famous.
How'd you get his number?
Because it was in Perth, and remember at home you could look in the phone book and see.
Yeah.
And Michael, I'm like, Klim had just got big at the Perth World Championships, and I'm like, I wonder if his fucking number's still in if his number's in the book, and it was. And it was like Parkdale. What's that one down near Mentone?
Yeah, Parkdale.
Parkdale. Yeah, and I've rang and I'm like, is Michael there, please? Knowing he wasn't, because he was on TV. And his mum's like, nah, he's away. And I'm like, okay, tell him Billy called, and just hung up. You know, it was about 1992 or something. I don't know.
He hadn't got a silent number yet. Remember, a silent number was a big deal.
Yeah, big deal. Silent number. We got
not in the book.
When we were kids. We got Bert Newton's number. That was pretty exciting.
Oh, Moonface.
I think Patty Anson got very angry by memory.
Yeah, she would have.
It's when he Michael Klim. I don't know. I'm not into swimming at all.
It's pretty wet out.
Okay, it's pretty wet out. Okay. Here we go again. Here we go. Mel Gibson.
Well, he's from America.
I can give you that one because it was just down the road from where I grew up. He grew up in Tallangatta.
Oh, he's from Tallangatta.
Yeah.
Wow.
Now, a good friend of my wife's was his next door neighbour, and they knew him really well. And we thought it was amazing. Yeah, he lived just used to go to Wodonga to do the shopping and stuff.
Right, but he was American, was it too?
Mel Gibson, some trivia. His dad, Hutton Gibson, won a show called Pick a Box. Dave?
Yeah, I remember that.
Right, so his dad was like a genius, Hutton Gibson. He's American. And he won that whole thing. I think he might have won Sale of the Century as well when he came here. Pretty sure he
started like a nutty church, the dad. Yeah, he runs like a weird fundamentalist Christian church, I believe. Okay, my superpower is I know what schools comedians went to. So hit me with a comedian.
Evan Hocking.
Mirrablebark High. Hit me in with another one.
Kitty Flanagan.
Kitty Flanagan went to a Catholic girls' school in Sydney. I don't know the name of it.
Tom Siegert.
You just went to the Wodonga High School.
Wodonga High, yeah.
Okay, what's your secret power, Tom? Surely it's something to do with football. Do you know? Are you one of those freaks that know stats?
No, I'm not a stats man. Everyone says, thinks that I know a lot about footy, which I sort of do, but I love
you seem to know a fair bit.
I know a fair bit, but I don't know like real tactics and things like that. I'm a contest man. I love the smell of the change rooms and three-quarter time speech.
Sounds a bit erotic.
Do you know anything though? Like, do you know anything?
I can still to this day recite the last 10 minutes of the 1987 preliminary final between Hawthorn and Melbourne.
What? But you don't even barrack for those teams.
No, well, growing up in Wodonga, and I was footy mad. We didn't really get footy on TV. We only had one channel. Oh no, this is back when when I was in Yakandanda, and friends in Melbourne recorded that game for us, the 1987 preliminary final between Hawthorn and Melbourne, and gave it to me. And I honestly doubt anyone in the world has watched that more than me. Even Gary Buckenara, who kicked the winning goal after
that game.
Oh, were you? Out at Waverley?
Mate, I'm a Melbourne supporter, and it was the most I still think about that game weekly. Like, that game made me cry. Did you know about this game, Dave?
No.
Well, let me tell you. The margin is 7 points.
Yeah, go on.
Melbourne leading. We're almost into time on. 20 seconds away. Stiles wins a great tap. Jackson dashes away from Russo. Ricky Jackson, back from the dead. Keep going, son. Over the top. Yates, if he can kick this, it's a sealer. He's missed it. Surely he could have lured that Hawthorn defender out and popped it over the top.
And then what happened?
Up to the... I'll just do the highlights of the... up to the line it goes. 2 against 1. The mark taken by Eishold.
Are you getting flashbacks, Billy?
Yeah, that Eishold. Is you talking about the Eishold?
Simon Eishold, the one that just came off his hip.
Mate, he missed it at right angles. It was horrific. I was a young kid in the outer watching it, and we had about 4 shots at goal, Tom. You'd know exactly who missed them. Can you tell?
Yeah. Well, the last one was Campbell. So Campbell kicked a point. And he literally, it was 20 metres out, ran into a goal. He's missed as well.
Graham Yates.
Haven't kicked a goal in the last quarter. They've kicked 6 behinds. Tuck brings the ball back. Straight up's the way to go for Hawthorn. Bucky, bowled over. Whistle. Free kick, Buckenara. It's a 15-metre penalty. Oh, no. Buckenara would not have made the distance from where he was, but he might now. Gary Buckenara needs to kick this to put Hawthorn in the grand final. He's done it. Hawthorn have made it. Unbelievable.
That's incredible.
I didn't see the kick. I had my head in my lap because I knew he was going to kick it.
I was the same 2000 and I was sitting on the fence 2018 grand final when Sheedy had that kick, me and my mate. Like people always say when I tell them I was at that game, they're saying, the crowd must have been crazy. It was like going to watch a local under-12s game. It was so nerve-wracking that no one was making any noise, and you could actually even hear the, hey, the shepherd, and go, kick it. It was unbelievable. You could hear it echoing around the stadium. And when
what year was that?
2018 when Dom Sheed kicked the goal with with 30. Sorry, I swore there.
That's all right. You can swear.
With and we didn't see it. We had just our head face in our hand. You knew it. I knew he was going to kick.
What about the more recent one that I went to? Was the Geelong Collingwood final? Were you there? See it? Where Geelong won by 1 point.
The final, this year,
yeah.
Dacos's kick goes
out of
40
bounds,
centimetres to the left,
yes.
Gets a point. We man up. Collingwood are premiers.
Collingwood lose 2 finals by a point this year. Hang on.
Yeah, the Geelong one was by a point, wasn't it? It was a point when Gary Rowan kicked that past the ball and Holmes kicked the goal.
Yeah. No, I think Geelong was 2 points and the other one was. Geez, when you look at it like that, that's a pretty. That's a rough end of the year. Mind you, we did knock off 16 other teams by 1 point during the season.
Well, so if Collingwood had got in the grand final, you think they would have beaten Geelong?
No. Well, we wouldn't. No, that's the thing. We wouldn't have played Geelong because we. Once you play each other, you swap sides.
Sorry, yeah.
So we would have played Brisbane at the G, which is which they'd already won they'd played their grand final against Richmond.
Yes. There is that concept though in football, isn't there? That often, like Collingwood's grand final was when who they beat? I can't remember, but they played that one fantastic game, and then they, like Sydney, they beat Sydney beat Collingwood.
It'd be interesting to see the stats on the. If you win an epic preliminary final, how
you go in the grand final
in the granny? I would say, like, remember that one where Nick
ring Kingy, mate. Have we got Kingy's number?
The one that stands out the prelim for me is the Essendon Adelaide one in like 90. No, sorry, was it Essendon Adelaide in 97?
Yeah.
Or Essendon? No, sorry, Bulldogs and Adelaide, and Adelaide won it epically, and they weren't expected to, and then they went on and won the flag.
Yeah,
97 or 98.
I reckon that was their first one in 97.
97. The Bulldogs they beat, didn't they?
Yeah, and that's the one where Libba thought he kicked the goal and,
Well, a lot of footy chat on this podcast. This is not normal.
It's the footy debrief.
All the games you can pull out, though.
The one that you remember is hilarious.
Because it was Robbie Flower's last game.
And
and he did his shoulder.
Yeah, sadly he wouldn't have played.
Dipper cleaned him up. Sadly, he wouldn't have played the granny.
And Brian Wilson wouldn't have played either. He broke his collarbone.
Robbie Flower owned a pub in Port Melbourne. That's my contribution. The Flower Hotel.
We had a sports store in Northland. I used to ask my dad to take me there all the time.
Hilarious.
Have you done a sporties with David Rees-Jones?
No.
Well, he tells a story about it's his big story. So he got rubbed out for 4 weeks for punching Robbie Flower, which is like shooting Bambi, and everyone hated him. But when he retired, they did a show. He was working for the Sunday Footy Show, and he had a segment.
Straight to Phil Byron,
mate. David Rees-Jones had a segment called Blokes I've Whacked, and he would go and apologise to blokes that he whacked. Yeah.
It's a great idea.
He whacked so many blokes. It was like, and when they told him about the idea, he said, "Fuck, this is going to set me up for the next 3 years."
Yes.
He whacked so many blokes.
Somebody turned up to their house and
he would meet them. And anyway, so he met Robbie Flower at his sports store
in Northland.
And
a couple.
And anyway, so it was so he was just chatting away with him, and they're talking and getting on well, and they're interviewing, and then the producer came up with some flowers and gave them to David Rees-Jones and said, "Here's an idea. I've just come up with it. I just bought these from the florist. You give them to Robbie Flower, and it's like flowers. For flower." And and he's going, "That's a shit idea.
Shit.
I'm not doing
bit
it."
Corny.
And he said, "Come on, do it." And he goes, "All right," but he didn't. "I'll only do it if I get to make a little comment." But he didn't say that. This is in his head. He's going, "I'm going to do this." So he handed him and say, "Here you go, flowers for Flower." And then he looked straight down the camera and said, "I'm just glad I didn't whack Hetty," which is and that's his, and that's David Rees-Jones'
big joke.
His big.
That's
his
his closer.
Finisher. It's his closure, and it always gets a big laugh.
Well, of course.
Yeah.
Good work.
Speaking of whacking blokes, this morning I was sitting at a servo, got up pretty early, and I was meant to be doing stuff for comedy, but I was Googling remember Carl Dietrich? He was on...
Yeah.
Yes.
So bit before my time of watching,
But he's legendary for belting blokes.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I wonder where Carl Dietrich was from. And he's actually from, and this surprised me, East Brighton. I'm like, wow.
Yeah, but East Brighton is very different from Brighton. It's the other side of the Pean Highway. As Mr. Mulways, and it can be probably, especially back in his day, probably a bit rough.
Yeah.
Yeah, because it's like Moorabbin, kind of.
Yeah, well, it's right near Moorabbin, yeah.
Yeah. So it's like Brad Oaks grew up in Camberwell, and you go at Camberwell. But there were some shit areas of Camberwell back in the day.
I had a VFA side, Camberwell. Probably should switch up footy, eh? What do you want?
Nah, that's all right.
Well, I think
we talk about anything.
I think if you're not into footy, you've turned this
turned
episode
it off
off
already.
So we might as well keep running with it.
But anyway.
They'll come good. They'll come good.
They're going to talk about comedy soon.
Sorry,
But no. Well,
keep pleasing the 7 people that have kept listening.
No, we're off the Caledonia Hotel in an extreme weather event. What could go wrong?
Nothing.
Anyway, so tune in and see how the gig goes, I believe. Tune in. Because Tom's got a gig in Echuca tomorrow night. That won't be going ahead.
Yeah, no, I've accepted that. Yeah.
Accept it.
already?
Oh, well, I spoke to my dad just before, and it's made like they're sandbagging some of those towns. They're they're in a
Bendigo.
A lot of shit. And one of the towns I go through, I can't think of the name of it, but yeah, it is the worst town in Vic at the moment. Rochester. Yeah.
Rochester.
Mm. So that's I would go through there.
Well, I'm in Lara tomorrow night. Lara will be all right.
Yeah,
That's
Lara
in
will be all
Geelong. Oh, you reckon?
Swampy, pretty swampy.
Little river.
Big river.
Big river. Torrential river. Avalon. Oh. Anyway, keep listening and we'll come back on and we'll let you know how the gig went. Because people will be hanging out. And more footy talk.
Yeah.
I mean, Billy Stiles has got instead of a pine tree air freshener, he's got a Petrarca. Christian Petrarca, who went to ask me what school he went to.
He went to Whitefriars.
Yes, he went to Whitefriars. Yeah, he's from Whitefriars because it's a Catholic school down the road from my high school. Where Lawrence Mooney went and Pat Cash also went to Whitefriars. Yeah, the alumni and a lot of drug dealers. Anyway.
Yep, so you're back with a footy debrief.
It's all going off.
I'm a big Jewel fan, yeah.
I interviewed her once.
Oh, do tell.
These interviews, you just sometimes have to go to a hotel room and just talk. And I had I had this new technology. It was just a microphone with a chip in it, so it doesn't look like a proper thing.
Oh, yeah.
And so I go there and I sit on the couch in a hotel room. I'm talking to Jewel.
Where was the hotel room?
It was the Park Hyatt.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Was it her room where she was sleeping?
No. I reckon it was because her boyfriend came in halfway and he's like a rodeo guy.
Yeah. They've recently split, Dave.
Oh, get in there. And he had a cowboy hat on and he's like, who's this? And Jules goes, he's doing an interview. He goes, yeah, where's his equipment? I'm like, this is my equipment. He goes, looks a bit ramshackle to me. Who are you really? It's like... Yeah,
were you the only two in the room?
Yes.
Surely there were others in the room.
I don't know what happened to the publicist. Often there's... Like, I remember interviewing a guy from Star Wars, from one of the films that wasn't that good. You go straight ahead here, Billy. And the guy from George Lucas movies, whatever, lay in the bed in the other room and would yell shit out, correcting this guy about, Obi-Wan Kenobi or some shit.
Yeah.
No, that's wrong. In the second movie, Obi-Wan Kenobi did not say the Yoda. Like, mate, shut up.
What did you ask Jewel? Were they your questions?
How long did you have?
How long
did you have? Like, do they say you got 5 minutes?
20 minutes. Oh, no, Jewel was...
20 minutes?
Maybe, it might have been 10. I can't remember. I was never a big Jewel fan.
That's my dream.
So, you should have done it, maybe.
Oh, it's too late now.
I think I asked her about living in a car. How old would Jewel be now?
Jewel would be,
40?
I reckon, 48.
Nah.
Yep.
48?
48.
I reckon 48.
You know what? Jewel wasn't in Wonthaggi tonight. That's for sure.
No, but there were a lot of girls with crooked teeth.
Wonthaggi. Man, it was a funny pub. It was kind of old school, that pub. It was so funny.
What were they saying, Tom, when I was on? Remember those ruffians?
Oh, they loved you. They wanted to...
No, but they said something when I did my ADHD joke.
I think one of them
the guys look like bikies? Like retired bikies? Like if you ask them, where can you buy speed? The girls.
All girls that were rough on the left, and they started saying, that's me exactly, or something. I don't know, but I couldn't hear them. That's when I started talking to them, but I didn't know what they were actually saying.
There was a couple to the left who had a daughter that looked nearly older than them.
Oh, yes.
Jeez, they must have kids young.
Yeah, well,
in those country towns. Yeah.
That's nothing to do. And it's a funny night. Oh boy!
But the crowd was
they were up and about,
paying up for it.
They were great.
Did you notice? I'm spewing. I didn't mention it. Did you notice how many lights were on the roof? And there must have been 150 lights in that joint.
Really?
On the roof, the stage, everywhere there were lights.
Well, it was great how when you went on starting the night, the music kept playing through the speakers. That was there's some bloke like karaoke, Tom, karaoke, mate.
And the sound guy told me 1,000 times not to walk past that orange line because you get feedback. And he was like, you get feedback. It's like, and I got on stage and he had fucking background music playing. I was like, mate, how about you worry about your own game, mate?
To be fair, that guy was also carrying out the meals, wiping stuff up. He was doing everything, that guy.
As soon as I walked in, I said to Tom, this looks like the Blues Brothers where the chicken wire pub, you know?
Yeah.
And then, didn't they say the Blues Brothers thing played the night before?
Yeah, that was a coincidence.
Yeah.
We play both sorts of music, country and western. Greatest movie. Still a good movie. I watched it with the kids. It's still very funny, the Blues Brothers.
Did you ever go to the Valhalla or whatever it is where they have that? You know how
yes. Yeah, I went to that. Yeah.
I used to live in the street where the Blues Brothers car was. That one of those dudes. Barclay Street, Fitzroy.
The Blues Mobile. We're on a mission from God.
And
but you know Jewel. So Jewel was in one movie. She was in a movie called. It's great. If you're a Jewel fan, you should watch it.
I have not seen this.
No, it's Ride with the Devil or Race with the Devil. Right? No, they say I know Ride with the Devil, not Race with the Devil.
Race with the Devil was good. Remember that?
Yeah.
Do you?
Is that a teen movie, kind of?
No, it was a horror from Peter Fonda was in it, like a 70s horror. Race with the Devil, a highway movie, yeah.
No, Ride with the Devil is about bushwhackers in the Civil War. So what happened in the Civil War is that, they would fight like World War One, just get in like rows and shoot each other. What happened in the South, it was the first kind of terrorism. They had groups of guys that would just come out of the bush and shoot people, and attack troops, which was unheard of. Normally in Civil War, they make an appointment in a field.
It's like a sport almost. Yeah.
And so Jewel she did this movie with a director called Ang Lee, who became a huge director. He directed The Hulk with Eric Bana. He directed he's done heaps of stuff, Ang Lee. Yeah. But he was so mean apparently to her. I asked Heath Ledger, who was he did Brokeback Mountain. Ang Lee directed Brokeback Mountain.
You asked him.
Just some name dropping going on. This is unbelievable. You
Ledger.
Asked Heath Ledger.
I said Heath Ledger. I said, what was Ang Lee like as a director? And he goes, this is after the interview had finished.
Why don't you ask Heath Ledger what he's like? I want to know what Heath Ledger's like before that.
Anyway, Heath Ledger was a kind of nervy kind of guy. Again, I interviewed him in a hotel room for Brokeback Mountain. Mate, we got in the tent, got our cowboy hats on.
And the rest is off the record.
Bit of role playing.
Did Heath Ledger smoke ciggies?
Yes. I think that's when I was talking to him, he was having a ciggy out the front. I said, I had to ask you, because I know Eric Bana did The Hulk with Ang Lee. And I said, what was Ang Lee like as a director? He goes, seriously, we did a whole day of filming in the tent. Me and, who's the dude he was with?
The guy from Donnie Darko?
Yeah, that's the one. Jake Gyllenhaal?
Yeah.
And he goes, we're doing all the lovemaking scenes. And I said to Ang had given no directions. And I said to Ang at the end of the day, what was that like? And Ang paused and went, the light was good. The light was good. Yeah, what about me and him going at it in the tent?
Oh.
Anyway,
that's a rough day at work.
Ang Lee and Jake Gyllenhaal were not at the Caledonian in Wonthaggi.
No.
I tell you what.
There was a piano in the foyer, and if ever a pub has not required a piano to be in a foyer, I reckon.
But I would assume there'd be a few bar brawls, and someone could get on and do a bit of honky tonk. There's a chair getting thrown around the room, and oh man, it was such good fun. I loved it.
It was solid. It wasn't bad at all. The gig at all. It's good.
Yeah, it was really good. The crowd loved it.
We've got to say hello to Sally too from Phillip Island. She listens to the debrief. So hello, Sally. Big shout out to you. I reckon you're the only person in that audience that is aware of this podcast, and we hope that you enjoyed the footy talk earlier. I'll make myself laugh.
But they're there were 3 people at the gig that listened to Evan and my podcast, and I find they're loyal. They're really loyal podcast listeners. They're more loyal than someone that doesn't mind your comedy.
Yeah, it's true.
They really are. Really loyal. They feel like they know you.
It's true. There was someone that liked my Junkies podcast. I wanted to do about junk food. And how good was it when we arrived? There were 3 packs of Twisties on the table. And I believe that everyone had a pack each.
Oh, one was the one that was toasted cheese
promotional
flavor.
Brand. Is that a new thing? Those toast. What was it called? Twisties, toasty. What were they called, Tom?
It was toasted cheese sandwich flavoured Twisties.
How'd you rate them?
10 out of 10. You didn't like them.
No, I had them the other night. I didn't like them.
And they didn't leave your fingers looking like they were fluoro orange too.
It's a more subtle flavour, and it's got a bit of butter flavour in there too.
Yeah, that's a good point, Dave.
It tastes a bit like butter and cheese.
They weren't bad enough to not eat.
Yes.
I'll give them that, because usually you get those, what are they called, promotional fucking
they're actually called line extensions in the biz. They're called a line extension.
But sometimes they're not even good enough to eat when you get those, but they were. I can eat them.
Yeah. Oh, they did cheeseburger. They've done a few weird ones, peri-peri.
Over Christmas, I had a Super Duper flavoured Big M.
Oh, what was that like?
Rank. Absolutely rank. I love Super Dupers. I love Big M's.
Yeah,
put them together.
Don't mix them.
Horrible. Some things should be kept apart.
I met a woman at a gig the other night. She told me she was a Big M girl and a Carlton Bluebird.
Oh,
incredible.
Raspberry Coke. Remember they brought something like that out one time?
Yeah.
Don't mess with it.
If it ain't broke, don't fix it.
Yeah, Coke. You don't put raspberry in it. No.
Well, what did Fanta? Fanta used to be awesome, and they put 5% real orange in it. It's not the same.
No, but Fanta did. Raspberry Fanta's good, isn't it? You reckon? You get it in barley. We used to get it. You can go. Fanta can change. Fanta's not Coke. Don't get it twisted. Don't get it twisted.
That's a good
point.
point.
What I mean?
Yeah, you can get pineapple Fanta and stuff now too.
And it holds up because it's just a flavour.
It's a flavor. Coke's Coke. You're right. Come on, it's cola.
What was another one I saw? Cadbury with broken up, like a block of Cadbury with broken up in it. What are they called? Cheetos? Doritos.
Oh, that's disgusting.
No good.
That's no good. Get out. Vegemite. Yeah, Vegemite. Ugh.
Vegemite slices. That was a good move when they put Vegemite in the slices.
Vegemite's yuck, isn't it? Really, but we all eat it.
I love it.
I like it.
Because you give it to someone from overseas and they nearly choke on it.
They put too much on there. They put it on like it's peanut butter.
I just think the taste gets them. They're like, yuck, what's this?
Yeah, it is quite salty.
Oh, yes. Well, we survived, so I'll ask you the question. So what went well tonight, Tom? What went well in the gig?
I thought, besides those two... are you also going to ask what didn't go well?
Yep.
Well, I thought it was a good crowd.
Yes.
I thought it was a really good crowd.
It had the potential to get out of control, but they never really got out of control.
No. But it was very very good hospitality. Like they
yes.
The bartender was lovely. I didn't pay for a drink. They gave us palmy. They took our orders on the way there, so it'd be ready for us when we got there.
Good.
We had our own green room.
Very good.
It was you can't question the hospitality at that joint.
What didn't go well?
They had
the music.
The sound guy, he might be a listener, so I thought he had an off night.
No.
But he did have a lot on his plate.
He did.
Yeah, he had a lot on his plate. But I had to say to him, mate, because he was picking up glasses while the act's on. I said, mate, there's no need to do it. Just wait until the end. But he said the manager asked him. So
he was the manager.
He was a company man. I'll give him that. He did as he was told.
Just following orders, Tom.
He didn't read the room.
Just following orders.
And those two pylons were.
Oh, that's a good. That's
any
organisational has got in the way. Yeah, you could say there were two pylons in the middle of the room. Yes.
Where there was a big strip down the middle of people that were basically could have been listening to it on radio.
And how can we do better next time?
Well, if you cut the pylons down, the roof would cave in.
Yes.
So that wouldn't be better.
Anything to add, Billy?
The half a Parma was pretty good.
Oh, it was off
Never
the charts.
had that. I didn't know you could order half a Parma.
That's a thing at the Grandview Hotel where I do.
Oh, that was impressive. Because I reckon a lot of the time I can't finish the whole thing without feeling a bit crook. So that was that's what I'll be taking away from it.
Can you order like half of other meals, like half a pizza and
it's interesting. Half a steak,
half a beer if you
half a steak.
Yeah.
Well, it was good. It was great. Great hospitality.
3 out of 10 for all up here.
Mate, we all did well. We're legends.
And sometimes you do
Wonthaggi.
gigs and people don't think much of you, but like everyone was really, even when we walked in, I was like, oh, there they are. Like it was actually made you feel a little bit important.
I gauge it by this, Tom. Like when you're walking out, if they yell out, see it to you, you don't even have to sort of look at them.
Yeah.
They yell out to you. That's when you know it's been all right.
And a guy...
No good, they just let you walk out.
Yeah.
Well, there's nothing worse than the embarrassing walk to the car park where people just stare at you and, I thought you were good, mate. You know, that kind of thing.
Yeah,
good.
Especially when you've had a shit one and you got to pack up your own sound equipment.
Oh, there's nothing worse.
And then you have to go and ask for the money.
Ask for the money?
I know it doesn't make any difference, but if I've got to ask for money, I always say, even if I know they're the person to get the money off, I say, who do I see about getting the money? It's not specifically asking to get the money. I don't know. It just makes me feel better.
And we've got to mention John from What's the Joke who organised it.
100%.
He'll be
great.
listening to this.
He puts on a great show.
He was there. He's driving back to Geelong from Wonthaggi.
Yeah, 2.5 hour drive.
Drive safe, John.
He'll probably still be driving when this
If you
comes out.
possibly run off the road and die tonight, this is an epilogue to John from Geelong.
You need work boots. See John. I'm not sure what company he works for, though.
Yeah, it's workwear. I don't know which workwear company, but...
What's the boots?
All right, guys. Well, let's keep driving. And we should plug your podcast, because I played it last time with Evan Hocking. So you're the other half of Good Banter.
Yeah, the Good Banter podcast.
There were 3 fans there tonight. It's growing every day.
Yep. No, it is. But with podcasts, Dave,
Yeah.
how do you know how many people... This is one thing we can't work out. How many people are listening? We've got this app and it tells us how many downloads.
Yeah.
But is that only how many downloads and not people that just stream it? Or is it the streaming
I think it's the
as
same.
well?
Look, I could ask Courtney, the producer of this thing. He'd know. But I assume it's everything. I don't know. Yeah, that's a good point. Do they just call it downloads as a term that includes streaming? Or is it all... Someone will know.
Because some people download. Everyone I've asked has no idea.
I don't download my podcast. I just stream it.
No, yeah, same here. Yeah. So maybe it can't... But
I can ask Courtney. I'll find out.
Yeah, if you
I'll find out. Pretty good question. This has like 1 million maybe a time? I don't know. No, hang on. 1.5 million. I can't remember. It's somewhere there, the debrief.
Do you have a Patreon or anything?
No, I don't have Patreon. No.
Yeah.
No,
That's
do it for the
hard.
love.
Yeah,
I mean, I got a free packet of Twisties tonight, so you know what I mean? That's pretty cool.
And you get a free lift to the gig. Just
free
tell
lift
them
to the
you'll
gig.
Be on the pod.
Billy Stiles, the Uber.
Paid from potties.
People do advertise on this podcast, and you get paid the ads. But yeah, well, we're getting nothing. You'll get nothing, mate. But
a lot of people do a Patreon where
people sign up. It was set up by the
money.
guitarist from Metallica or something like that who was sick of people getting his music for free. It wasn't Metallica; it was another heavy metal band.
And $1 off every person.
Yeah. That's right. And I do a podcast with Glenn Robbins because somehow we're related, which has a lot more downloads than this podcast. But Glenn's like, I don't want to take $2 from a storeman, when I'm Glenn Robbins. I'm like, well, fucking, I'm not Glenn Robbins, so I'll happily take $2 from a storeman.
What do you need to make that worthwhile? How many people?
But the actual percentage of people listening to your podcast and the actual percentage of people that sign on to Patreon is about 2%.
You serious?
Yeah, it's really small, apparently. Yeah, it's really small.
So you need a lot.
You need a lot of listeners. But in America, because there's more population, they make a lot of money out of podcasts. In Australia, not so much. But, Hamish and Andy are number one, and they obviously get paid a shitload to do their podcast.
But I heard one positive about a Patreon
is
it's such a small amount. Like it's often $4 a month.
Yeah.
That even when people stop listening... they're like, oh, fuck, cancelling. They gave me some good laughs.
Yeah.
They just keep it just keep it going.
Yeah,
so you got them forever.
Just give me Twisties, guys.
That's a big effort to sign up to a Patreon, though.
That's what I mean.
I'm not a person that's ever doing that.
No, well, that's what I mean. That's what most people. It's like 2% of the population do it.
Yeah. But
you're in the majority.
That's why you got to give them extra content, Billy. Every month you'll do special episodes
show or something,
that only the Patreon gets.
So you got to be a big fan. You have to be a huge fan.
I can't think of anything that would make me do that.
What about the Melbourne Football Club? If you got like a reach around from Petrarca?
Nah, nothing would get. They could say my name on it every week. Wouldn't matter. Nah.
For $3 a month, you wouldn't get a reach around from Petrarca.
Nah. I cancelled Spotify.
Can I have your Patreon?
What about Max Gorn?
I cancelled Spotify. What's that? $11 every.
Yeah, I don't know.
And that's like got every song ever on it.
That
still doesn't get me.
That's probably the best deal you will ever get. Considering a CD was $30 at one stage.
Yeah.
You can have every song. On the
Spotify's
planet.
bad for artists, basically.
Oh, horrendous. That's why they're all touring again, isn't it?
Yeah, it's shit. Anyway, this is free, guys. Enjoy it. You've heard football. You've heard reach around jokes. It's all good. We're talking footy. Represent Wonthaggi. Represent.
Thursday night.
We'll see you again.
We're talking footy.
Talking footy. Jewel, Sally from Phillip Island. Cool. All right. See you later. Thanks for listening. Bye-bye. Just add anything, Billy?
See ya. Night.
Have a look at Billy on Facebook and Instagram.
Oh, yeah. Everywhere.
Putting some good clips on there.
He's on fire.
He's on fire.
His stuff tonight they loved it.
No, they loved
You
it.
gotta follow me though. No one does. Don't worry about Patreon.
Well, if you're not following anyone, why should they fucking follow you?
Because I'm fucking providing I don't know. Just because I don't want to work anymore.
Yeah. Follow him. Follow him.
When this finishes, I'm delivering Maccas to people. When this finishes, so
I appreciate you dropping them off the other night.
105 followers.
Get on board, everyone. Billy Stiles. See you later. Bye.